It's really making me very sad. All right, so let's have another question from Indiana.
Hi, this is John. I have a quick question about sector. Sector by itself can be used with NPI-IO.
Can you ask the question again, please?
The sector by itself can be used with MPI-IO.
Question was, can sector be used with MPI-IO?
MPI. We don't have enough experience we didn't run any MPI application on sector yet, so I'm not very sure if it's compatible yet.
It wasn't designed for that, but that doesn't. I think someone has to try it to see if it makes sense at all.
Right, but if you just use sector and the storage system, and you can because the sector file is just a native file, you can still run anything else to process the file, if that's what you want. But if you want to integrate MPI inside a Sphere framework, yeah, we haven't tried that yet.
But another way of saying it, if you mount it as a fused system, then you could do whatever you want over it.
Yeah,
You had another question, John? Okay.
Has a question.
Who? Yes, I believe that you said you were going to speak a little bit of fuse. May have missed it, but could you elaborate on that, please?
So where was that question from?
UT El Paso.
Okay.
What was the question? So you're asking about fuse, right? Is it a question?
Yes.
Okay. So because sector is not a kernel space, it doesn't provide all the kernel functionalities you can use to access the file system. So Fuse is another piece of software. It's not derived by us. It's an open source software contributed by other people. Basically, we just use Fuse. We can use Fuse. You can mount sector as a user space file system, and you can use all those file system, a standard file system commands to access sector files. That's about it. I mean, that's simple.
Fuse is pretty broadly used these days.
Yes, yeah.
Again, it's not our software. It's just out there. It's a very nice open source package.
Yes.
Question from Minnesota.
There's a quick question about the power consumption of warehouse-sized data centers. Does that put any limits on the amount or rate of processing that can be done on the data?
Yeah, another open source.
Yeah, the sector is like Hadoop or other Google file system. They basically all these systems they are optimized for read. They are not optimized for write. Because we create replicas, if you do a write, it's much slower than read. For read, the sector is a topology aware system. So it can actually know the topology of your multiple data center and the clusters. So actually, it can intelligently put the replicas into multiple data centers. So whenever you log in, it will find a nearby replica for you. So hopefully that's faster. Because the shorter distance usually mean a faster network connection.
Well, can you ask your question one more time? I just want to make sure we answered it.
Basically, I wanted to know if because of the huge power consumption of the warehouse-sized data, is there a limit that's placed on the amount of processing or the rate of computation that can be done on that data?
I don't think we can. Let me say a couple things. There's no limit on. We can't. Let me say it this way. There's an interesting. TerraSort is sort of deprecated because it's too small these days. It's been replaced by a number of sorts, minute sort, gray sort, etc. One of the sorts that they have there is called joule sort. It's how much data you could sort using 1 joule of energy, and it would be, it'd be interesting for Milestone to create a version of Milestone that asks how much analytic computation can you do for 1 joule, and I don't think we certainly have not optimized the amount of computation we can do for 1 joule. But if you're asking, to first order, the cost of a data center is proportional to the electricity that goes in there, typically measured in megawatts. So it would be pretty interesting to ask how much computation can you get per joule, and then to do a version of sector that is joule aware. We haven't done that yet.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have any more questions?
That's an interesting area of research, I would say, is how to do joule-aware data-intensive computation. It's a very interesting area it would be more important it's a very important area right now. Fridays are good days to ask questions. Are there any other questions? Okay, thank you very much. We had a lot of fun. Thank you very much for including us in this.
And I would like to thank Bob for his magnificent talk. As he said, he's been working in this field for many years, and other people have only just realized how important it is. And I think the importance of his previous work came through in this talk, and I'm very happy that he was able to give this closing keynote. Let's thank him. We'll meet again in an hour's time.